Hey, what's up, beautiful beings of light? It is Mandy. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. I'm just checking out some of the new features that they're saying, they're popping up here on the Facebook live video. Facebook's always changing some stuff around. Anyhow, you guys, happy Tuesday. I just pulled up to the gym. I'm about to get my workout on, but I wanted to record a video really quick because I posted this earlier, and I think it's a really important topic, and I choose to chat more about that the relationship that you have with yourself actually sets the tone, honestly, and determines the relationship that you have with everyone else. Hey, what's up, Donna Lynn? How are you, gorgeous? Thank you so much. So a lot of people are kind of unaware of that, and so right now I would like to bring to your attention your self-talk. I would like for you to take some time to think about, what are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself inside your head? When you really think how interesting it is that we have this voice inside of our head, right? And when you think your thoughts, the voice is speaking to you inside of your head, almost as if someone is speaking it to you, but clearly it's your own mind, it's your own thoughts. And so sometimes we have thoughts that are less than desirable, of course, right? We have negative thoughts, we're pessimistic, maybe we're beating ourselves up, over our appearance. It could be lots of different things. And when you stop and think about that, whatever those thoughts that you're having, would you actually let somebody else say those things to you? You know what I mean? Would you let somebody else say those things to you that you're actually thinking to yourself? So it can be very interesting when we actually stop and we take a minute to tune in and to really listen to that voice inside of our head. And we, I took this class once called Captive No More, and it was talking about taking your thoughts captive. So I think that's a good description, is that you take your thought captive and that you essentially dissect your thought. And you think about whatever that thought is, and what are you saying to yourself with these thoughts? Because they say that we actually have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts a day, and that most of those thoughts are repetitive thoughts, meaning that you're thinking the same thoughts day in and day out. So if most of those thoughts are repetitive thoughts, they also say that most of those thoughts are negative thoughts. So if you can only imagine, I'm for some reason getting this vision of a flower in a pot. And if you can imagine that you were saying negative things to this flower in the pot, and that maybe you weren't giving it fertilizer, maybe you weren't watering the flower, like what's going to eventually happen to that flower? You know what I mean? So thinking of yourself as being a very beautiful flower, or whatever it is that you choose to use as an analogy, but really stopping and thinking about what are the thoughts that you're thinking, and what is your self-talk? What are you saying to yourself? Literally, like even right now as you're watching this video, maybe you're even looking at me and maybe you're making judgments about me. That's actually very interesting, because when we judge other people, it's actually just a reflection of us. But maybe you're listening to this video and maybe you're who knows what? Maybe you're not making judgments. Maybe you're loving what you're seeing, and maybe you're loving what you're hearing, which is also a reflection of you. And I wasn't choosing to take the video in this direction, but that's a very good point. So clearly it came into my awareness for a reason. So thank you guys so much for all jumping on. Feel my love and appreciation. Thank you all so much. I see you all on here. But I'm kind of in the flow, so I'm going to keep going. So I'm choosing for you to assess your self-talk, and I'm inviting and encouraging you guys to start taking your thoughts captive, whatever it is that you're thinking. These are things that I teach my clients, things that we do in a lot of my programs, because the mindset is so crucial and it's so important and it's key. And I want to emphasize that the more loving and peaceful you are with yourself, meaning that the more peaceful and positive and loving you are with yourself, in your own self-talk, okay, about everything in your life, about who you are, what you're bringing to the table, how you're showing up in the world, maybe how you look physically. It could be so many different things. But the more peaceful and the more loving you are with yourself, then the more you're going to see that love and that peace reflected back to you in your outer world, okay? Because literally, I say this pretty much every single video, that our outer world is just simply a reflection of our inner world. So, when you see someone else and maybe you're feeling, some type of way, or you're being judgmental towards those people, or maybe someone triggers you in some type of way, understanding this, because that resides in you, or else you wouldn't even recognize it. I mean, that truth right there alone can transform your life. Give me some thumbs up and some hearts if you guys can resonate with this. So the whole reason I'm sharing with you guys on this video is that if you're not loving what's on the outside being reflected back to you, then the only person that you can, essentially control and transform and change is yourself. So instead of fighting against the outside world and basing your happiness on your conditions and on what's showing up in the outside world, the goal there is to transform yourself, to transform your inner world, and then your outer world starts transforming. It's such a beautiful journey. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the love and hearts and comments. Hey, Ashley, Jesse, Serenity, how are you? I saw a lot of people jump on. Michael, thank you so much. Donna, if I didn't already say Donna, I see Lisa, Valerie, JC, Aaron, how are you, my friend? Yeah. So, Phil, I love you guys. Another point that I want to bring up is whenever you're really in a place where you're loving yourself so much, you won't allow other people to treat you with anything other than respect, because you have such a high regard for yourself that you won't even allow it. But at the same time, you get to remember that if you're doing the work on the inner, then it's not going to show up on the outer. Let me give you a perfect example. If somebody's in a bad mood and they're feeling some type of way and they jump in the car, chances are they'll probably have some road rage. So they're going to be actually expressing this negative energy. They're going to have a negative vibration going on. They're feeling some type of way. Well, chances are they're going to get behind the very slow person, or they're going to come up on the freeway and there's going to be a wreck, and so they're going to be literally held in traffic for an extra 30 or 45 minutes. Or maybe they get in their car and they're like, oh my gosh, I was requiring to get gas, and they're realizing they're on empty, so now they're going to require going to get gas before they can even get to their destination. Or maybe you get in your car and your low tire light is on. And while we're speaking about vehicles, I would like to emphasize that your vehicle is actually a representation of you and your body. So if you're having challenges with your vehicle, then it represents yourself, okay? For example, if you have a flat tire or low air in your tire, or something's going on with your tires, that's about moving forward in life. So you're potentially having challenges with moving forward in life. But there's so many more things I could talk about as far as that's concerned. And if you require support, I invite and encourage you to jump into my programs or reach out to me for some one-on-one coaching. But there's so many things that we're not even aware of because we live in this 3D world, and we just, we're just humaning along, and we don't realize that a lot of these things that are going on in our world are signs, right? And it's a way that God, source, creator, universe, angels, spirit guides, whatever words you want to give it, is actually communicating to us. So, for example, about the car, most people are completely unaware of that. They have no idea whatsoever. But when people tell me that, my battery went out in my car, it's like, well, that's your battery. So chances are you're requiring some rest. You're requiring to give yourself some time to get a little bit of rest, because your battery in your car going out is just an indication of what's really going on with you. What's up, Micah, my beautiful sister? So, that's kind of a little side note. The other thing I talked about here, I put some little notes down because I really want to emphasize this to you guys, is about healthy boundaries, right? So when you really love yourself and you're in a place where you love and accept and respect and honor and cherish yourself, you are going to set healthy boundaries. Saying no to someone, it's okay to say no. You don't always have to say yes just because someone invites you to do something. If it doesn't resonate with you and it's not a hell yes, as in HAIL is the conscious way that we're spelling the word hell. So HAIL, meaning if it's not a hell yes and not everything in your being is on a vibration of yes, 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 then it's obviously a no, okay? If it's like, well, yeah, I kind of maybe, sort of, or I probably should because this person invited me, or I feel bad if I don't go, or I feel bad if I don't accept this invitation, or whatever that looks like for you. If it's not a strong yes, then chances are it is a no, okay? So it's really important to understand that creating healthy boundaries in your life is really only for you. So you don't have to answer the phone call. You don't have to respond to the text. You don't have to show up to the event. Like, doing whatever you require doing to support yourself is going to be a lot more beneficial for you in the long run than running yourself into, low energy or negativity, or being in a place where you don't absolutely desire to be, or doing something that is not 100% resonating with you and in alignment with your higher self, right? So understanding healthy boundaries is important. Another thing I want to bring up is people who hate themselves hate others, and people who love themselves love others, okay? Are you the kind of person that you look at other people and you're judgmental and you're critical? Because people who criticize and judge themselves are the same people that walk around criticizing and judging other people. So the way that you can transform that is by loving yourself more, because chances are if you're that way, it doesn't feel good for you, and you don't really desire to be that way, because that is not how God, source, creator, universe created you to be. So when you really get in touch with your heart deep down inside, chances are there's something that happened to you probably in your childhood, or who knows when. It could be even a recent event in your adulthood that is causing you to feel some type of way, that is causing you to judge other people. Let's say, for example, if you went through a bad breakup, maybe you had something that happened, maybe someone cheated on you, maybe who knows what it could be, right? Well, then you may begin to be bitter, or you may begin to be angry, and you may begin to look at the opposite sex with negativity, and you may then be expecting that all men or all women are that kind of way. Well, chances are, if that's how you're thinking and that's how you're vibrating, then you're going to get the contents of your consciousness reflected back to you. So you're going to continue to create that in your world and attract that. Like the next guy or girl that you date is simply going to be a reflection of your consciousness. And if that's what you're believing about, the opposite sex, then that's the kind of same people you're going to continue to attract to have relationships with. So those are things to think about. So once again, people who are really critical of themselves, maybe you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're beating yourself up, whatever it looks like for you. But if you're really critical of yourself, then you're going to be very critical and judgmental of other people. And you're going to be that type of person that's literally going to be like a magnet of finding things to criticize, because that's already that's where you're at. That's where you're vibrating. So once again, the answer to all this stuff is to really support yourself in loving yourself more, like loving who you are, loving what you look like, loving what you sound like, loving, your energy levels, loving, just the way that you are as a human being, because understanding that we're all divine perfection just the way that we are right now, and that we don't require doing anything different than just literally being exactly who we are, relaxing into our faith and loving ourselves for exactly the way that we are. And obviously, being a person of higher stature. I don't like to say good or bad or right or wrong, because there's no such thing, but essentially being a good person would mean that you are having a heart for God, or having a heart for creator, source, universe, stars, infinite intelligence. I'm not here to tell you what word to use. I personally use the word God, but the reality of it is that we know when something doesn't feel good to us, right? So if we're bashing another person and we're talking bad about someone else, the reason we don't feel good when we're doing that is because that is not our true nature. That is not our true essence. And so no matter what someone else has done, okay, because we get to understand that if there's something going on with another person and maybe you're feeling they're doing something to you, you get to understand that that's just a projection of that person. However they're choosing to handle a situation, or however they're choosing to respond or react to you or whatever's going on in their world, that's a reflection of them. And that is something that they get to deal with. That's their journey, and that's where they are. So loving and accepting a person for the way that they are and for who they are, because you don't know what all they've been through. You've never walked a mile in their shoes. There are 7 billion people on this earth, and no two people are alike. No two people have ever been through the same exact situation, circumstances, and events as another person. Even twins, right? If you think of like twins, brothers and sisters, or twin sisters or twin brothers or whatever, I'm just using that as an example, that there's literally no two people alike, and that we're all each unique individual souls here having our own unique physical, experience as spiritual beings, is the way I see it. We're here as a spiritual being having a human physical experience, is what I'm trying to say. So instead of judging other people, just understanding that's where they're at on their journey. And if we're all here on our each own individual journey, okay, gorgeous, thank you so much for your support. If we're all on our own unique individual journey, then it allows us to have more love and compassion for those other people instead of judging those other people, okay? So once again, the goal is to really just dig deep and have more love and compassion and peace and respect and honor and, acceptance and approval and appreciation for your own self. And then when you do that, that is what shows up in your outer world. You will literally begin to attract other people that are exactly like that. They're so loving, they're fun loving, they're easygoing, they're happy, they want to be out and experiencing life, and they're joyful, understanding that our default is joy. They're not basing their life on conditions. They're really basing their life on how they're choosing to see life, because whatever you're choosing to see is what's going to be reflected back to you. Like Wayne Dyer always says, change the way you look at things, and things that you look at will change, which is so true. Like obviously you're going to see capital S, capital E, you're going to see exactly whatever it is that you're looking for. What's up, Liz? How are you, my gorgeous? Jesse says, woohoo, you're on fire. This was feeling this. Well, I'm happy to hear that, Jesse. Thank you so much. Brianna, thank you, gorgeous. Serenity says, what if you do not have a car? Well, that's kind of a whole nother thing in itself, and I won't really get into that on this video. So feel free to send me a private message and we can talk a little bit more about that. But there's definitely, signs and, I guess, there's clarity to be had in that situation. I was going to say in your circumstances, but yeah, in that situation. So I want to talk really quick too about my brand new program, the 21-day self-love challenge, you guys. It's going to start this coming Monday. I changed the date because I'm really desiring to fill the program all the way up, because it's going to be off the hook. It's for men and women, okay? I have a lot of guys that reach out to me and they love my work and they're interested in working with me, but they think that I only work with women. I can tell you right now that I can support men and women alike. I love what I do. My clients get phenomenal, amazing results. If anything that I've even said in this video like clearly resonates with you, and there's something that I've said that's just like, wow, I'd like to know more about that, or, this really resonates with me, this sounds like something that could be a good fit for me, then clearly it is something that you honestly require. And the reason I say that is because when we have an intuitive ping, and we call them pings, P-I-N-G, when we have a ping or an intuitive ping or a feeling about something, there's a reason, right? Like your gut, your intuition, like don't ever ignore that. Understanding and knowing that whatever it is that you feel intuitively is your guidance system. And when you can quiet your mind and live more from that state of like your heart and your soul and your intuition and your gut, then you're on the right path. There really is no such thing as a mistake in life. There really is no such thing, because no matter which direction you go in, we have free will, and we were given free will for a reason. And so if you made a decision to do something a certain kind of way, then chances are that's exactly what you felt that you desired to do at that time. So, that's even a great, I guess, way of looking at your past, is that you get to love and accept yourself and give yourself permission to forgive yourself for any decisions that you've made, or maybe that you didn't make, or actions that you took, or actions that you didn't take. The reality of it is that you are exactly, my brothers and sisters, you're exactly where you're supposed to be in your life right now. Right now, everything in your life is in divine order, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And just knowing that truth alone will set you free. It will give you peace. It will give you ease. It will allow you to be calm. It will allow whatever it is that you're, thinking about and focusing on to flow into your experience. And I could do a whole nother video about all of these topics, of course, because there's just so much to share. But the reality is that if you can just trust that everything is in divine order, okay, and you can just take deep breaths and relax and know that the only thing you require doing to stay in alignment and to stay on your path is to love yourself and control your thoughts, okay, because all there really is love. And the more love you give, the more love you receive. The more love you put out there, the more love is going to be reflected back to you. And honestly, that's the only thing that really is here on this earth is love, okay? There's love and there's fear, but really love is all there is. Someone who's got anything other than love, it is a version of fear, anger, frustration, guilt, shame, whatever all those very low vibrational frequency emotions are, all of those are reflections of fear. So when you get into a place of love, where you're loving yourself and you're really controlling your thoughts, and you're choosing to vote everyone's victory and see perfection in everyone else, that's exactly what's going to be reflected back to you. And it's just a beautiful thing. So feel my love and appreciation for you guys. Like I said, I pulled up to Planet Fitness. I'm about to get my workout in. But I really wanted to talk about this topic today because I posted it earlier, and I really do believe that the more that we love ourselves and the more that we are, focusing on our own relationship with ourselves, the more that sets the tone for all the other relationships in our lives, no matter what that relationship is, whether it's bosses or coworkers or children or partners or boyfriends and girlfriends or just friends or whatever it looks like for you, even like strangers, you know what I mean? So I really invite and encourage you guys to really take time to dissect your thoughts and think about whatever it is that you're thinking about, and your self-talk and the things that you have going on consistently about yourself. And if you desire support and it resonates with you, I would love to support you. Click on this link that I posted here. We're starting this coming up Monday, September the 24th. It's called the 21-Day Self-Love Challenge. It's going to be all about getting yourself in alignment to really love and appreciate yourself. It's going to be freaking phenomenal because I have so much more to share. It's not going to be like my other programs. This is brand new material. I have a lot of my clients that say, is it like your other programs? I'm like, no, it's always going to be something brand new. I'm always going to be bringing something new to the table to share with you guys. So if it resonates with you, I'd love to support you. Feel free to comment below. Feel free to share this video. Feel free to send me a private Facebook message if you have questions about anything. And I trust that you guys will have an amazing rest of your day. I love, love, love you too, my Liz. All right, chat with you guys soon. Mwah. See ya.